Let's start with Alabama. Ceiling and floor. Guys, let's set the stage. Obviously, everyone knows Kalen DeBoer is the new head man there. Still have talent. They've done decent through the transfer portal, making some additions. The roster is going to look different. A lot of things are going to look different. At the end of the day, I don't know if Alabama football is going to look drastically different in 2024, maybe later on. So I'll start this one off. My ceiling for Alabama is 11-1. I will say this, and we're going to hint at this. I don't know if any team is going to win 12 games in this new SEC, especially the powers that we have in this conference. Like Georgia's schedule is ridiculous this year, but as we look at Alabama, what they do, they have to go to Georgia. They're playing Georgia. They're at Tennessee, at LSU, and at Oklahoma. Yes, they still have Jalen Miller. Yes, they've got some depth at that quarterback room. I'm going with a ceiling of 11-1. I think that's best case scenario. Which, look, you do that, you're in the college football playoff. You might even be in Atlanta for the SEC title game. So, Will, your thoughts on Alabama? Where do you have them in your ceiling?
Yeah, I was gonna go 10-2 initially. But then looking at the schedule, man, and just thinking about Alabama, I'm gonna go with you 11-1. You know, you set the ceiling, you kind of think you're almost guaranteeing that they're gonna lose 2 games, and that it's a tough schedule, no doubt about it. Like you said, they go to Baton Rouge, they go to Oklahoma, but I don't know that you guarantee 2 losses. I mean, and those games aren't till November, so Alabama should answer any questions that they have about their team by the time they play them. So yeah, ceiling 11-1. I'm with you,
Ralph. Are you in that same category? Where do you sit with Alabama, kind of heading into the season as the ceiling, best case scenario?
Yeah, I mean, the schedule looks good for them. Honestly, I mean, I know they travel a lot this year, but I feel like it's the same team we had last year, or they had last year. You lost some pieces, obviously, to the draft, and obviously to the portal with losing Saban, but I mean, I think Kalen DeBoer's done a great job. I mean, he's going to do an even better job this season. I think that winning culture is still there, what they want him to do. So I'm going to go 11 wins, 11-1. I mean, there's just that honestly, that's just the best case scenario. Obviously, anything over 10 wins for them this year is a win for them, obviously.
Look, and 10-2 is going to get you in the playoff, especially if you're Alabama with the brand name. We already saw that last year.
Get you in the playoff.
9-3. So here's my floor. My floor for them is 8-4. I think that, you look at that schedule. We're going to obviously go more detailed into this in the next couple of weeks and months. They have a road trip to Wisconsin. How does Kalen DeBoer handle the road environment for Alabama? That's going to be something. Wisconsin's going to be jacked up for that football game there on September 14th. That's going to be a really, really fun one. They come back the next week and host Georgia, which is going to be a night kickoff on ABC. That's going to be a really, really fun game. Or 2 weeks. I'm sorry. So they do get a bye week. They do. That's
in between.
That's huge. But when you look at this, like Georgia,
it smells like Birmingham cooking up something to me. I don't. That's what it smells like. Well, also the bye before LSU. Come on, what are we doing?
But I'll tell you what. They come right off physical game LSU. They got to welcome the mighty Mercer Bears to town. So I don't know about you, but little November 16th date when the Mercer Bears come into town, baby. That's going to be a fun one. But no, seriously, you look at that schedule. I'm going 8-4, guys, because we've been critical. Like Jalen Milroe is a top 15, top 10 athlete in college football. I feel very comfortable saying that. One of the best athletes. He is going to be on some Heisman preseason list. He is going to be on some Heisman potentially midseason list. He's going to be in some award list. Can he, in a tougher schedule, in a tougher environment, and really kind of without this leadership of Nick Saban, which I think helped him a lot at times, kind of, just assimilating to what he needed to be for their starting quarterback position, can he do that effectively in 2024? And do you have any missteps? Because LSU, that's going to be a tough environment. Oklahoma, that place is going to be rocking. Late in the season is always a crazy game. Your last 3 real games, LSU, Oklahoma, and Auburn, you could hypothetically lose. Missouri, the 2 weeks before, that's an interesting game.
I know you didn't just say what I think you said.
I know. I'm sorry. You go up to Knoxville. The last time they went up there, it was a party at Neyland. I'm just saying there is a path to, if things don't click, you could roll into those final 3 games, that last bye week, Will, and I'll set it up for you. You could roll into that with already 2 losses, Georgia and Tennessee, and I don't think people would be absolutely surprised to see that. That's why if that happens, I could see 2 more losses in the schedule. I'm going a floor of 8-4.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 8-4 with you as well. Also, coming off that Tennessee game, they welcome Missouri, and Coach Drink is gonna have Missouri ready to go. They stand on business week in, week out. Would be better if our friend Sam was in here. I'm sure he's not in here. We'll have to clip this, send it to him later. But yeah, 8-4. Like you said, Georgia very well could be a loss. Would not be surprising. Tennessee wouldn't be, just because Tennessee, I mean, TriStar can attest in the comments. Tennessee's loaded. They've got a lot coming back. I really like what they have coming back. And, like you said, last time Alabama went up there, they lost. Missouri will be tough. LSU, Bryce, firsthand about LSU. Even with a new quarterback, I think LSU is going to still be able to put up points. That's going to be a really tough game for them. Those could be your 4 losses right there. So floor of 8-4, I really don't see them. If they pick up one of those games, maybe they drop that game to Oklahoma. Having to go out to Norman would be difficult at the end of the season. I don't want to talk about that last game on the schedule yet. Talk about that in a few minutes. But yeah, I'm going to go 8-4.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I feel comfortable saying that, Ralph. Are we going to go chalk here across the board?
I want to say something. I wanted to go 7-5 just to be different.
But that's not wrong, because you're talking a floor. We're saying everything goes wrong. Like, this is as bad as it gets. So
I'll be the one who does the everything goes wrong scenario, as in Jalen Milroe gets hurt or something. It doesn't work out with him. He's not the same person he was last year, and they just don't. And Austin Mack is something. It can't answer the phone properly. It's just everything goes wrong for them. Yeah. And you win that Western Kentucky game easily, but you have South Florida coming to town, who is a team that is just – they're not bad. This is not a South Florida team they played last year. They're a lot better, I think. And, I'm not saying they obviously upset them. I'm just saying, but could cause issues. I mean, maybe not make it a blowout, make it, a 2-touchdown game. And then question things, and then you go into, Madison, Wisconsin, and it's loud. And you're expecting them to walk out there with an easy victory, and you have had a really rough game against South Florida. Now you have to play at Madison, Wisconsin. You're screwed. It's one of those situations where like the floor could be 7-5, but I realistically don't think it will be. But that could be a floor possibility.
That Wisconsin game. I just want to make a note of that. That is going to be so funny to see whenever the TV networks come out, because I have a hunch that's going to be the 3:30 CBS game, with the Big Ten getting the CBS rights. That's going to be an afternoon game, and that is going to hurt Wisconsin. That's an advantage for Alabama.
Yeah. TriStar says right here that Wisconsin is a trap game for Alabama. Look, you got to go up there. They're going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. Tyler Van Dyke is going to be under center for the Badgers. So, look, I mean, if Van Dyke can play the way he did early in his career, maybe you have something brewing. I don't know. It's
how about I'm going to say an even bigger trap game for Alabama. Dead center of their schedule, October 12th. South Carolina comes to Tuscaloosa.
Big news in South Carolina.
After Vanderbilt and before Tennessee.
They have a quarterback.
They named him today. Shane Beamer named him. Lenore Sellers is going to be the guy for them. Wow. And I like him a lot.
Robbie Ashford.
Yeah. Stacy and Kevin Baker. He goes, this is hypothetical. There's no way we can know who does what until we get the season. Yeah, this is just more of the talking point of the season. I mean, this is the range. I don't think they go worse than 7 wins. That would be danger zone. That would be all things considered. That's what it is. And then I also believe that – yes, exactly. But I also think that when you look at best case scenario, I just don't know if anybody's going undefeated. Like, I just don't have that inkling. And I don't know if Alabama's the team that can go undefeated.